Hello. So, what I have in front of me today is Ansible. Ansible. If you're into networking, if you're a network engineer, if you're uh, doing computer science and you want to major in networking, or you want to do something related to IT support or network support and the likes, this is really something you're going to want to start learning, or something you're going to really need in the future, in your job, even currently. So this is Ansible. So what is Ansible? Ansible is an automation, uh, will I say, framework for automation. So you can use it to automate your infrastructure from provisioning, deployment, monitoring, maintenance. You can do all of that using Ansible. So what am I saying in essence? So if you have new devices that you want to rack and stack, you can use Ansible to basically provision those devices. So from Cisco devices to servers to you know uh, firewall, uh, appliances, security appliances, and the likes. So you can use Ansible to automate all of that. It has a very good documentation as well. So this is the Ansible documentation. Uh, Here says introduction to Ansible playbooks. So it basically gives you a number of files that you would have in your Etsy directory. So it creates an Ansible folder that has a playbook and then Ansible hosts, which would typically be your hosts that you're going to be managing in your infrastructure. So I have already installed this. If you're looking to install it, is pretty much straightforward. You can install on your Ubuntu uh, server. It depends on you. You can follow the guide to install it wherever it is you would like for it to run on. So I have done this installation on my virtual machine, virtual box. So I have Ansible installed here. If I go to ls, let's see, so you can see it here, Ansible. It's already installed. If I go to Ansible, these are the default files it creates. So it creates a .cfg file, that's a configuration file. It creates a host file and rows file. So that's basically what Ansible would, how it would install and how the directories would be placed in your Linux machine. Okay, so the device I'm trying to uh, do some, pull some information from today's, it's quite an old device. It's it's a Cisco 1900. I don't know if you can see that. It's a Cisco 1900 router. It's quite an old one. Yeah. So basically, my connection here is so I have an Ethernet cable, an RJ45 cable connecting to the router, and I have a console cable as well. So if you on my screen, you can see that I've used the console cable to do some basic configurations on the router. So basically what you need to have for Ansible to run is SSH. So you would need to be able to reach whatever device it is you want to manage with SSH. And I've done basic configurations on the router. As you can see on the left side of the screen is the router. So if I do show run, yeah, you can see the host name is configured. Nothing else is configured aside the host name, SSH version 2, and then the interface I'll be using to SSH into the router. That's 192.168.56.107. The interface is gigabit 0/0, as you can see here. So that's very basic configuration. Nothing has been done on this device. Yeah, so that's basically it. Here, Ansible is already set up on my Ubuntu machine. So let's take a look at the hosts file and see what is currently present in the host file and see how it's structured. Alright, so if I go back to Ansible and go to hosts, I'll use VI to open it. So if I go back to Ansible and go to hosts, as you can see, it's basically instructions on how the host file should be structured. It's giving you how to, define your various infrastructure. So this is how you typically, this is what we call a group in Ansible. So this is a group of, for instance, these are web servers. So for instance, you would have, this is how you define a group: web servers. Then you have their domain names or their IP addresses listed here. So if you have a domain name server here, then you'd have their domain names here. But if you don't have that, then you have the IP addresses of the individual devices. So I've listed a couple of devices. So as you can see, Cisco switches, you just put a space and then you can define another group. So I've defined Cisco switches and I've defined routers. I don't have any switches here. I only have a single router, that is the 1900 router, which is in this group with the IP address here, as we have already seen in here. Yes, so this is it. This is the same device that is right here. Okay, moving on. So I've defined the device. I've added only one router. If I needed to add more, I'll just do insert and then go to that section where the routers are located, and I'll add and I'll add additional. I opened this in read-only, so I can't I don't want to make any corrections. I'm just trying to show you how this file is structured. So if I needed to add additional routers, I'll just do this 192, add the IP address of the router, and that'll be fine. If I needed to add another group, I'll just do this, and let's say HP servers, and then I'll come down here and then add the IP address of that device. So that's basically how Ansible structures its host. So you can list all your hosts here. So this is where you put in your configuration, credentials and your connection details. So first of all is Ansible user, that's the username. Secondly is Ansible password, that's the password of the devices in this group. Next one is Ansible connection. How are you connecting to the device? We are connecting on the network CLI. Next one is Ansible network OS. We're just trying to tell Ansible that this is an iOS device, and please use the iOS modules to query this device. Next one is how are we connecting. So depending on how you set up your environment, you would have to put in the port you're using to connect to this device. Here is the default SSH port 22. So yeah, that is what it is. So you can define this for as many groups as you have, then you'll be fine. Okay, I think that's about it. So to ping a group, what I'll need to do is, once I know the group, no matter how many devices are in this group, if I wanted to ping it, this is what you can do. Ansible Cisco routers, that's the name of the group. Do -m ping. So okay, I made a mistake with the group name, so that should be Cisco routers. So as you can see, the ping was successful. That's for the Cisco routers group. So if I had like 10 to 15, 200 routers in this group, I'll get a result for each one in this manner. So each one would appear. So this is a better way to manage your devices instead of SSHing into each one to get certain results that you want to get. So if I wanted to view configurations, I've done this command before, so I'll just bring it back up. So if I wanted to view the interface, like show IP interface brief, this is the command you typically do like so many times if you're configuring a Cisco device. So this is what I'll do. Ansible Cisco routers, that's the name of the group, -m. Then I'll tell it that is an iOS command, -a. Commands show IP interface brief. So within this place, you can also abbreviate the way you would abbreviate on the Cisco CLI. So if I click enter, okay, fantastic. So if we do show run here, we will see that the information that we get from the show run is the same thing as we have on the Ansible that is giving us. So it's giving us information for 56.107, which is this router here. So it has given us the IP interface details for the router. If we had 10 routers on this group, if we had 20 routers on this same group, it would give us the information for each one in the same manner. So showing us the information by the management IP address that each router uses. So this is basically how Ansible works. If I had more devices, say multiple switches, a few more routers, it would have worked so much better. That would have been able to give more results. But this is it for now. So this is something you'd really like to have in your stack or in your skill set. It will make you more valuable out there in the field, and it will make you more productive interacting with devices in your infrastructure. Thank you.